Your city, your stories. Celebrating the people and places that make Houston shine. It's Great Day Houston. And now, here's your host, Deborah Duncan.
Up next, just like this chef has created perfect pairings using chocolate, our next guest has perfect wine pairings even for takeout food. We'll pop the cork on that information next. So whenever you pick up Italian, Chinese, or Tex-Mex to go, does that mean you should pair an Italian, Chinese, or Tex-Mex wine to go with it? And do you have to drink whites with fish and red with beef? Mandy Naglich, a wine, spirit, and beer expert, is tossing out many of the old rules. She's the author of How to Taste, a guide to discovering flavor and savoring life. And she joins us with pairings for tasty takeout meals. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to see you.
All right, let's go back a little bit into your background. You were always a picky eater until college. For a lot of us, you get what you can.
Exactly. I was always nervous to try new things. New flavors were really intense to me. But then in college, I was forced to through work. So I was trying things at a crazy restaurant I worked at, like kangaroo and crocodile, and I've never looked back.
Oh, okay. Okay, you went to Texas Christian University, a bachelor's in political science and broadcast journalism, but you also have the Wine and Spirit Education Trust education as well. What made you get interested in wine?
Yeah, I got really interested in just the way that flavors are created, and so much of that is actually fermentation. So your spirits are fermented, beers, wines are fermented. So learning about those flavors, I wanted to specialize in everything, even sake and cider, all fermented flavors, and I love matching them and working with them. Yeah,
you are actually a certified cider professional. Who knew on that one? But you're a multi-gold medal winning home brewer as well. So you know this through and through from both sides. In fact, you brought the love of beer to your family.
Yes, exactly. My family now, anywhere they go, they take pictures at all the local craft breweries and trying all the beer styles I taught them about. I have a secret beer to slide in here today that's a Belgian style. So once you discover them, people just get hooked and they want to try it all.
Yeah, there's so many misconceptions out there, but you know, to be fair, there's so much to choose from that it gets confusing for a lot of people, which is why you wrote the book, How to Taste, a guide to discovering flavor and savoring life.
Right. And especially when it comes to pairing, they kind of feel like they know these rules because they've heard them before. And rather than relying on flavors that actually work well together, they kind of fall back on the reds with meats, white with fish kind of thing. So I really have a whole section about pairing where I wanted to teach people how to build pairings they'll love.
All right, let's pair right now, starting with the Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, so this is the Gießen Sauvignon Blanc, and this is coming from New Zealand. Take a little sniff of that. It is so tropical. And the one that I love on this, it has this like lime sherbet note to it. And so if you're ordering Thai takeout, I feel like this is the #1 match for that.
Yeah, this is really good. You're right about that smell. It's just like, it's really fruity.
Yeah, and so you know how you have like that coconut note, like a green curry coconut note? That tropical flavor of this wine is really going to come forward and accent that.
Yeah. Can I just tell you how happy I am right now? I'm drinking wine. I have had chocolate this morning as well. All right. Our next wine is great with, you say, Mediterranean food?
Yes. So we have, I love it because it's called a baby super Tuscan. So what a fun name for wine. But it is the Dogaiolo from Carpenetto in Tuscany. And it's what it's going to be. It's like a light-bodied bread. People think of breads as like super intense and heavy, but this has a really light body and high acidity. So with something like a grilled kebab, you're going to really accent that char flavor, which I love, but it's also light enough to go with things like a whipped feta. You know, you have that fruitiness. Can you smell, like, I think you get a lot of pomegranate and like cherry on the nose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this wine's really
going to get that dry.
I have, like, oftentimes I'll sniff the wine if I have some, but these are really intense and you can really smell it, and it's so good.
Right, and that aroma is really great, but then it's not going to be too intense for your food. It's not going to, like a Mediterranean salad, it's not going to overwhelm that at all.
Yeah.
So it's really, and Mediterranean's my favorite food. I love to just order a ton of different dips and bite it all, and this is going to have the fruitiness for some of the lighter stuff, but those vanilla and wood notes for some of your heavier dishes like the kebabs.
Yeah, and might I say, you know, oftentimes with sommeliers, they will, and you will taste the wine and spit it out. Is it okay if I just don't, I have nothing to spit it out in, so I'm having to to really drink it?
You're going to start your morning off great. And I think swallowing a little bit is really important for that mouthfeel, actually. So just getting a little bit of how it feels in your throat. This one's going to have a little bit of dryness, but the next one's going to dry your throat out even a little bit more. And that's a really big quality of the wine. So a little sip and swallow never hurts.
Yes. Okay. Well, the Critic Cabernet Sauvignon, this one right here I have, and you're right, this one's like a little bit drier on the tongue, but is great for...
Right. Well, and it's going to run you, it's from Napa, it's going to run you under $20, which for the Critic, I think is amazing. You don't usually see that with a Napa cab. And this one, like I said, that drying feeling, that really like big spice flavor, and some of those leathers that you get on cabs are great with like your gourmet burgers. So if you're going to load bacon on there, you're going to load Gouda, all kinds of things. This is going to have that fruitiness up front. Like, do you get that little plum? So nice with bacon. And then the end, that dryness that you get from the wood aging and that typical cab feel is really going to cut through any kind of fattiness, not going to make you feel heavy after a burger.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. It's kind of like that balances it out to be a little dry, but you do have a little bit more of that grease in the burger and thing that you talked about in the bacon and stuff.
Exactly.
So, all right.
So those two mouthfeels with like that little bit of grease and that drier wine, it's so nice together. And especially at home on your couch, under $20 for an Napa cab, like, you're having a good date night, whether with someone or yourself, Yeah,
right. All right. Let's go to our last one here, which is not a wine, right?
No. So this is a beer that drinks like a wine. And I really wanted to bring it out because I think it's like people underestimate how great beer is with food. So this is going to drink a lot like a champagne. It's Duvel. It's coming from Belgium. And it even has some of those like notes like champagne. You get that like little bit of green apples, some nice breadiness to it. And I mean, look, it's beautiful like a wine, but I think this is great with, if you're getting a bunch of pizzas, you're having a bunch of people over, you don't know how people are going to pair things. This is great with any kind of rich topping. Spicy pizza slice, it's going to be great. That high carbonation is really going to clean off your tongue, keep it from being too spicy. But something like, bacon, blue cheese, barbecue pizza, it's also going to be really great. Those little bready notes are going to keep it from being too heavy and really complement nicely with any pizza crust, any topping, and the carbonation is going to keep you coming back.
Yeah, we're going to have to get you to be live here in town at some point because, of course, you said it tastes like a champagne. We know we love champagne and chocolates, but these chocolates that we just had in the segment before you are so amazing and diverse. You really can get savory in the chocolate and the whole bit and mix it with something that works. But oh my gosh, I'm thinking I'm champagne and chocolate right here. I'm a happy girl. Beer, champagne, and
there
chocolate.
You go. Yeah, and like I said, in this beer, all those crazy toppings he used, it will be great. You can't go wrong with this as a pairing. It's one of my go-to secret weapons that people are always surprised by.
Yeah. All right. Let's round out with, again, when people get so confused, they oftentimes go back to the same thing over and over and over again. Challenge us to expand our horizons.
Yeah. So I think, especially like I said, all these are under $20. Go try something new, grab it from the store. And rather than thinking, oh, it's from Italy, I need to pair with Italian food, think about how intense the flavors are. How long do they sit on your palate? That intensity is the best way to match wine. So if something's not too intense, it's not sticking around on your palate, it's not heavy and greasy, go with things that are lighter, your salads, your sushis, your fish, your chicken. If it's hanging around, you have that long aftertaste, that's when you're going for your richer things, maybe your chocolates, your desserts, or something richer like pizza and burgers.
Yeah,
so really
it elevates those dishes. We're the most diversity in the country, so fusion is one of the things we do, so let's start doing some fusion with all of it. All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Great to see you again. Cheers.
Right, cheers. The book, How to Taste, A Guide to Discovering Flavor and Savoring Life by Mandy Naglich is available now everywhere books are sold. For more information, including where to follow Mandy on social media, visit greatdayhouston.com and we will connect you.